last in our series of videos. For this one, we're taking the pitch that we learned about in the previous video, the notes that are going higher and lower, and we're learning how to actually write them down. There's quite an intricate system of symbols that musicians have developed over the years to do that. And reading music is like reading a completely different language, so it does take time. But let me show you how to find the notes that we're going to be using for making our composition. Now, if you have a look up here, these lines and spaces here are called a staff. There are 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the piano has so many notes that one staff is not enough to actually be able to fit all of the notes of the piano. So I'm going to be telling you about a treble clef today, the treble staff that actually records all the notes from middle C upwards. And there is actually another staff called a bass staff, bass clef, that records all the notes from middle C down. But today the treble clef, specifically those notes that I showed you the other day, C, D, E, F and G. Let's play them. Those are the ones we want to be able to find. So let's go to our staff up here. I'll just show you how to actually write notes onto them. So you can write notes on the lines and you can write them in the spaces. And the line notes you need to have, I'm going to use semi-breves here, you have half above the line and half below the line. So you can write on every single one of these lines. And then for space notes, we have to write in between these lines, and we touch the top, touch the bottom, but we don't overlap because otherwise it can be a bit confusing because it looks like line notes. So touches the top, touches the bottom. Those are space notes. Now, a treble clef, as I was talking about, has a special symbol to indicate that it's the treble clef. And this is how the treble clef is drawn. We start on the second line here and we curve around it and then up and down. Now, the place that we started is really significant because that is the note G. This symbol is based on an old-fashioned G symbol, and that helps us to recognize where G is. So if we go along here, that G line, the note that's written on that line is a G. And from there we can go up and down to work out the other one. So let's go down first. G, and we go backwards from G in the alphabet and we get to F, and then we go backwards from F and we get to E. Then, to go up the rest of the notes, we have to remember that the musical alphabet only has 7 letters. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then starts again. So this is A, B, C, D, E, and F. So those are all the notes on the lines and spaces, but as you know, we need middle C and we need D. I'll show you where those are now. The D sits just below this E here, underneath the staff. So that's D. I'm just going to squish in here to show you middle C. Middle C, we've run out of lines for it. It needs its own special line. So we draw a line roughly the same distance apart as the other lines on the staff. and then we do half of the note above, half of the note below. And that's our middle C. Middle C is fairly easy to recognise because it has that line going through it. And so if you can recognise middle C, and you can recognise G because of the old-fashioned G, it's pretty easy to work the others out. So C, D, E, F, G, those 5 are the ones that we will be using. And remember, we find the 2 black notes in the middle of the keyboard to find C. And here's C. So it's C, D, E, F, G. Those 5 notes. I'll just rub the other ones out so it's a little bit clearer. You can see. The ones that we're using to create our composition are just these first 5. C, D, E, F, and G. It takes a lot of practice to be able to recognise notes quickly, just like when you first learn to read. But don't be discouraged. With time and practice, it becomes much easier. There's a game in the DLR that's a note naming game that will help you to be able to recognise those notes more clearly. Have fun.